Happy St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so I punched a bunch of little hearts from construction paper, and then I used my colored pencil to make those marks. And it's intended to be an art journal entry, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Next, I used this toilet paper tube that was cut in half to make two different leprechaun hats. Well, they look the same, but anyway, they're two of them. So yeah, I stapled those just to make it look a little bit less straight and perfect and stuff. And then I glued that to some cardboard, and while that was drying, I made the rims, and then I used felt to cover the parts. Then I took this gift bow apart, and it had those neat little plastic things to hold it together. Anyway, I took that apart so that I could use pieces of it to make the little buckle thing on the hat. And so yeah, there's that. Now that's dry enough to cut up, and so I did. I trimmed it, and so there's the top of the hat. So there's the hat form there without its rim. Now I'm using the glue gun to cover that in felt as well. Now I ran out of the darker felt, so I had to use a lighter felt for parts of the second hat. So there you go. And I used a Sharpie to trim bits of those. And then I made a shamrock for each hat out of construction paper and pencils. And there you go, there's the hats. Next, I gathered up all of the different colors of green yarn I had and made myself a bunch of pom-poms of different sizes, and then I made myself a cardboard wreath form, cut a few holes in it so that I could tie the pom-poms to it. And there I tied the hanging string from there, and yeah, started to arrange and tie the pom-poms onto it. Once that was done, I found that it wasn't really full enough, and it was full of strings at the back, and it wasn't really very sturdy. So I made another piece and wrapped yarn around it just to make it stronger, and then I glued that to the back. And then I made a few extra pieces to make the back a little bit nicer looking, so it's a two-sided wreath. And there it is hanging in the window. And a few close-ups of the little embellishments, I guess you would call them. Used our green push pins to make a shamrock on our corkboard. This is an empty tape roll, that kind of tape. I figured this would make a nice hanger for my thingamabob here. So right now, I'm just kind of wrapping it around so that it's not white, so that the green shows through. This ribbon came from a Christmas gift. Okay, so here's how it looks. So it's green trimmed with gold, and those are perfect St. Patrick's Day colors. So far what I have is I can hang on a nail. Okay, I have a plan. I don't want it quite as long as it is. It's like really long, so I'm going to cut it almost in half and use this for something else another day. And I'm going to do that to its bottom, and then I'm gonna put that aside for a bit, and I bet you can't guess what I'm going to use. I'm still cardboard obsessed. So I am just going to see how wide this is. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a few shamrocks. That should be enough. I just did that so that I could gauge how. Okay, that's very bad. Maybe I should make myself a little template thing. It would be easier. Okay, so sort of a heart shape, but not exactly. A nice big curvy dip, another sort of heart shape, big curvy dip, and a nice stem there. It's more of a circle with a little dip there. I'm not quite happy with that right there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm happy. So I'm just going to cut that out to trace around it. It'll be easier than trying to draw it every time. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to trace around a few of these and then cut them out. And believe it or not, even though this is going slowly, it's still faster than if I tried to draw them individually. I suppose I could make myself a stamp and make it even that much easier. And I just might do that with this as my stamp pattern. But anyway, for now, for this, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, 6 like that, and 1. This one is going to have 4 leaves. So I'm going to trace those 2, and then place it like that. Okay, so I traced 2 of them, and now I'm just going to place it like that and trace around them, and then I'll make a stem after. So I will probably make myself a stamp set, because I don't have shamrocks, or I don't have anything St. Patrick's Day-ish. Unless I make it myself. Okay, so now I have a, yeah, I need one more of the 3 ones actually. But there you go. I will cut these out and we'll be back. Okay, if I wanted to, I could cut a lot of these, or maybe even make them bigger and make a wreath out of them. But I already made a wreath and I don't feel like making another one. So basically, I'm just gonna make them green. Let me see. Dark won't really show up on that. Not sure. Well, that actually makes it really a clover green. But I don't know how well it'll show up. I guess it does, but I'm gonna need to do something else with it, but I have a plan. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to use my Sharpie and make them green. And I'll be back. Okay, when they dry a little bit lighter, which is surprising. Usually stuff dries darker. But anyway, yeah, and I guess it stands out sort of, but I'm still going to do something more to it. Now I'm going to use my Prismacolors. I'm going to use Deco Aqua and Spring Green. With the Spring Green, I'm just going to kind of make lines like that. I don't know if you can actually tell, but anyway. And with the Aqua, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to glue them on there. So I'll be back once I've done them all. Okay, so I know you can't see the whole thing, but basically I'm just going to glue them on like that. The 4-leaf one in the middle and the other 6 on either side of it. And I'm going to use Glossy Accents to glue them. I would use the glue gun, but I just don't think it's gonna hold up with the glue gun, so as soon as I get my glossy accents to cooperate with me, I will do that. So I'll be back once they're glued, and I'll show you this when I hang it up. Okay, while the wall hanging thingy dries, I strung some beads, all the green beads that I could find that I've been given, and I strung them on. These I had to string on some thread because this stuff was too thick to go through the hole in the beads. I'm just going to dangle these from one of these, and they'll just be like a hangy thingy. And I'll show you this too when I have it hung up somewhere. Yeah, I didn't really leave myself enough to hang that with, to tie that with. Here we go. Oh wait, that's... So, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing exactly. I'm just kind of winging it. While I was working on the wall hanging thingy, I had these strung up for a different project that I ended up not using them for. And so they were lying here on the side, and I saw them and thought of this idea, and so I'm gonna try it out, see what happens. Okay, it's probably not really sturdy enough, but we'll see. Okay, and don't really want that far, but I don't want to lose any of the beads. There we go. Okay, now this is just Dollarama thread, so this probably isn't very... It's probably not going to be strong enough to hold these heavy beads, but we'll see how long it lasts. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to struggle with this and find other stuff to string onto it, and we'll be back. Okay, it's actually kind of ugly, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Yeah, I'll show you better later. I'm just waiting for the glue gun to warm up, and I'm gonna put that there to make it a little bit better.